I'm going to tell you a story. The first thing you have to understand is time does not work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracle because I'm the one who's talking to you. Welcome to the cult. No low dim, still not that kind of cult. So, update on that dance I just started. Uh, I came up with another 9,000 steps for another 20 lines, or another 2,000 steps for a total of 9,000. So, total of 20 lines. That is mostly just like filling in stuff that was stuff I did in high school or like after, um, or like actually like even as far back as middle school, which includes stuff like times I was like in band, times that I acted on stage, times that I was a fencer, and the period of time that I studied kendo and iaido. I'm probably going to have to add a couple lines in for the stuff I did for aikido and tai chi. Probably, and I'm also certainly going to have to add in a lot of stuff for theater in terms of being a stage tech, working on like set building, that sort of thing, and also when I worked professionally as a stage manager and as a stagehand. So that's probably going to be a fair amount of hiding and sneaking. That's just my stuff I've already looked up for it. So that probably will get me like somewhere around like 10,000 steps. But considering I came up with this idea like today and I'm already up to like 9,000, I'm already like, you know, around 10% complete out of the 84,000, like a little over 80, like a little over 10% complete over of 9,000 out of 84. Um, I'm pretty happy about this. So, as before, all of these are Nirtam Karoti Zarabagi Badi Zaraguni Bhavani, which is, dance varied 100 different ways, 100 times over. And each of these are also, like, inherently, because I did it that way, Zarabagi Bhavani, Zaraguni Bhavani, done 100 different variations, multiplied 100 times over. Because that's just sort of like, that's how it's a dance consisting of 101 dances, pretty explicitly. Um, Variati, play music. Sagachate, harmonize. Abhinayati, act, as in like in theater and stuff. Like plays and stuff. I also, fun side note, and stuff I did when I was like just out of high school and like um, like at the end of my senior year, I took in addition to a cable television production class, which was like not part of the high school per se. It was sort of like a community college kind of, not a community college, a community like a community resource kind of thing. Like it was something I think I could take because I was at the high school. Not really sure. I know it was like held at the high school in a room that I'd like literally never been in and didn't even know existed until I've been there because like there was like legit like a little cable studio for community access. It was a like basically I ended up filming a Buck Cherry interview. I think that was like before I even started working at the Twitter Center. I'm probably gonna have to include that stuff anyway. But so Recaste rehearse a karate perform. That is both the like the stage band, the jazz band, and like the very few actual things I acted in, like a show called Black Comedy. I played a genre named Schopensieg is an electrician. Anyway, and there's something else I was going to mention in there. I lost it. All right, for the fencing. Abinandade, salute. Uh, Samanunamati, advance. Jahate, avoid. Apasarati, retreat. Apadeza Karoti. You could also probably use Kuahiate, but I used Apadeza Karoti, which is feint, or do a feint. Zratna, Zratnati, disarm. So you don't actually do the whole wow and knock their weapon out of their hand. That's actually not something you do. But there's something in fencing called a prise de fer where you basically like knock their weapon out of the way, and which simulates disarming them essentially. And it's basically like with the way the rule, like the Nyaya fencing works, like the rules of fencing works, um, like there is you have to consider who is considered in control of the duel, and the person who's in control of the duel, in the case of prise de fer, is basically governed by if someone doesn't attack and they're blocked, the person who successfully blocked is considered to have control of the action. And so basically, like then they can then whoop, do a counter, and then they get the touch. Um, Conversely, a prise de fer is essentially going like I preemptively block you, and I disarm you, whack, and now I go for gatate or touch, because it isn't actually an attack in fencing. It's a touch. You're going for a touch. That's the way like sport fencing works, as opposed to like actual combat, which is funny. We'll bring that up in a second. And as I was talking about with blocks, Niachati, which is block, Parajayati, which is lose, Jayati, which is win, because I did a bunch of both. Let me tell you. And then into Kendo and Iaido, Automate, bow. This is important because of Kia. My freaking old Kendo instructor could Ki like a freaking banshee. It was so impressive. It must have been terrifying to like every first time who was like competing with him, because like you're expected to Ki in Kendo. You're supposed to Akrozam Karoti, shout. And this is specifically to blending in. So the third one is something that is like, you know, the difference between a gatate, which is a touch in competitive sport fencing, and like an actual attack. But I'm going to include it in the Iaido set because essentially these three all go one into each other. Akarsate, draw out of. Kuahiate, cheat or sound or etc. by active jugglery, which is essentially doing something. This is the verb I picked for doing something so quickly that like it almost looks like it didn't happen. Nehanti, strike or cue down. And that is another 2,000 steps. Whoa, this is Oracle, I'm gonna sing myself out. Dream safely out there and dance safely too thou. And if you find someone bad dancing at you, say hey you, don't dance at me like that in the true. Better to walk away than fight, that's my opinion. Good night.